How to understand macros without losing your mind. We bring back the simple building blocks. Macros are the building blocks of your food. They are building blocks that we can measure. Macros are a measurement tool, not a dieting protocol. Protein. We've got carbs in the middle here, the white for the starchy carbs, the green for vegetables and fruit, think green leafy vegetables, yellow for fat, think of butter. In order to eat enough of these for your physique or performance goal, we need to measure it. And with that comes needing to have a food scale. The food scale is where we get tripped up because anyone with a history of dieting or restriction generally has an issue with measuring things, because measurement in our brains correlates to restriction. Through this video, I'm going to hopefully help you wipe that slate clean so that you can get the benefit of knowing the building blocks of your food, but without the hang up of the scale. I'm going to use 3 quick analogies in this video to help you understand. Analogy number 1, the house and the size of the house that you want to build. If you are going to build a house, you have a size of a house and you have foundation, wood, and electrical wire that needs to run through the house. The macros are those foundational building blocks of your house, and they create however amount of the foundational elements you have, that creates the size of the house. The same is true for your macros, because if you are going to build a house that's 3 stories high, but you only order enough materials for a 2-story house, you're not going to build the house that you want. The same is true of macros. If you have a goal to go on a body recomposition phase that might last a year, but you chronically restrict and remove these elements, your building blocks, you're not going to get your desired physique. Analogy number 2, the master baker. If you go into any bakery, you're going to see a baker weighing their ingredients to grams. They're using a food scale. If that master baker is going to build a cake, there's some basic ingredients: butter, sugar, flour. If that baker is going to also then go and make a cupcake, same ingredients, same building blocks: sugar, flour, butter. However, in order to get the cake, they need to measure enough to make the cake, but if they're going to make the cupcake, they need to measure enough to make that cupcake. Same building blocks of a cake and a cupcake, different goals. Same is true for macros. If you are going to go on a body recomposition phase where you want to lose fat and build muscle, you need to have enough of these essential building blocks to make that happen. But if you are going to go on a dedicated diet phase where you want to lose fat and preserve as much muscle as you can, you are going to have these same elements, but just fewer of them. It's not about restriction, it's about measurement. This is my 3rd analogy. If a plumber goes on a job or a job site, or a construction worker, they have with them a sack of tools. Use the tools to make sure that they build what they need to build at the correct size. The same is true of the food scale. It is a tool to make sure you are eating enough for the goal that you have. It is not a tool to make sure that you can restrict for as long as possible. And then you decide when you use it and when you don't. I personally don't like the food scale. I love macros and I love the results they give me, but that's why I do a meal prep batch every week, because I know that I have to use the food scale to support my nutrition goals for my performance goals, but I don't want a food scale following me around every week. Just like a plumber, at the end of the day, he puts his tools away and goes on and lives his life. However, some women are great to batch prep a bunch of protein and then they measure as they go. That works too. So you just have to find what works for you. I've got a lot more that I'm going to cover for you about the basics of macros, but if there's anything you want me to specially pay attention to, put it in the comments below.